Hi everyone, welcome to the Sweet and Chocolate M&Ms. Today I'm sharing my pizza recipe. I am now starting with some dry active yeast, one package into a bowl, and then you add some sugar in order to activate the yeast. Then you add some warm water. Make sure it's not too hot. If you want to be kind of specific, you can use a food thermometer to make sure that your water isn't above, like I think it's 110 degrees or something. I usually just kind of keep it warm. I use my hand, old school style, as my mother taught me whenever she's making bread. And it has yet to fail me now with my yeast. So you just kind of mix it around a little, get everything kind of cohesive, and you wait like 5-10 minutes. You could even wait longer for the yeast to activate. And it's going to look like this. It's going to look nice and puffy. And that's how you know it's activated. Next, you add some olive oil to the recipe. You just add 2 tablespoons and you mix it together. And then after that step, you're going to add a little salt. And that's just going to help flavor your dough. One thing I love about this is that you really have control over what you're putting into your dough. I used to buy dough, like the ready-made dough in the supermarket. Maybe it's frozen, and it worked fine. It was fine. It was nice and soft and fluffy. But since I've discovered this recipe, I just feel like I feel better about what I'm putting into my body. I like pizza. My son loves pizza, and it's pretty tasty. So I gave it a little stir, and then you start adding your flour. I add a total of 3.5 cups of flour. Once you've added all your flour, you mix it together. Now, I should add that if you want to use a stand mixer, you totally can with the bread hook. I have tried this with the bread hook. Maybe it's the mixer I have. It just doesn't get it to the consistency I want all at once, and then I have to go in there again with my hands anyways. Although once the dough is cohesive, it really does activate the gluten and really gets it nice and stretchy and bouncy, and that's what you want. So if you want to use a mixer, you could use a mixer. If you want to use your hands by starting with like a spatula, you can, or you could just get in there with your hands. Some people, making pastries, making dough is so therapeutic. You're like feeling everything. It's nice and warm. Everything's coming together. You can kind of see the progress being made. And I can appreciate that. And I do enjoy that as well. But sometimes I just don't want to get my hands messy. So I'm just going to continue to fold it in until everything kind of gets together. So at this point, I'm going to start hand kneading. So you just want to dump it out onto your clean surface and start to knead it by hand until it gets nice and smooth. It's going to start off sticky. That's okay. It's going to come together, I promise you. This process takes at least 5 minutes. So this is, mixing the initial dough actually doesn't take that long. The kneading is kind of the process for me that takes the longest. So take your time, knead your love into this. This is a great stress relief, and it makes you feel good afterwards. At least it helps me feel good. I love the way it feels. So just keep on kneading until it gets nice and smooth. So we're almost there. You can see that there's less stickage on my hands, that the dough is just really nice and it looks more elasticy. That's the gluten that has formed. And so you want to look for bounce back. Once your dough is ready, you put your finger in it. And if it comes back at you, not quickly, obviously it's not going to like boing, but you want it to slowly come back at you. And that is the indicator that your dough is ready. So at this point, the dough is perfect, and I'm gonna set it to raise. So you let the dough raise for about 60 to 90 minutes, give it a good punch, and then you turn it out. And at this point, I split it in two. I freeze half for the following week's pizza night, and I cook the other half that I have. This is a real time saver for me. Not that it takes that much effort to make the dough, but it's just one less thing I have to do the following week. So I would suggest freezing if you can. If you have like a ton of time and you're a superwoman, you can totally make 2 batches of this dough, like double the recipe, and then you'll end up with 4 pizza doughs, 1 for the current week and 3 frozen doughs, and you're set for the month. So that's also like something that's really helpful, I think, for moms that are trying to do pizza nights. And you'll see this dough is like an extra large pizza dough. You can really do 2 like probably medium pizzas, 4 small pizzas if you have kids and you want to make it like a kid activity with your family. So it's really, really, really helpful, I think. So I'm just hand stretching it first, and then I'm going to roll it out with my rolling pin to probably a little bigger than my pan, because I'm going to like fit it in. But that's kind of the next step. So this is kind of fun, you know, it's relaxing. You just roll it out. So this is perfect, and at this point I'm gonna add it to the pan. Love this pan from Target, okay? It's Target brand. I love the little like divots underneath, the little holes. Nothing, like the pizza has never stuck. It's never stuck to it. I don't have to use the cornmeal anymore. I don't use oil. It's just like perfect. So I'm just gonna hand form the crust and just go around, and then I kind of like do some finger print holes to help it prevent bubbles from forming when it does the second kind of raise. I let it, well, I had to pick up my son, so it rose for like another 30 minutes, so it got super bubbly this time. But then you add your toppings, whatever you want. If you want pesto, add your pesto. If you want red sauce, add your red sauce. Add your cheese, add your toppings. We did turkey pepperoni and cheese, half and half, because my son just likes the plain cheese. And it was so good. I just did mini slices for my son and big slices for mom and dad, and it was so yummy. You guys, make this recipe. I promise you won't regret it. You'll never, I won't say never, but it'll be hard to go back to ordering a pizza after this, in my opinion, because it really tastes good. Obviously, the sauce you purchase and the cheese you purchase has an impact on taste, so keep that in mind. But so good. Try it. Enjoy. Peace, love, and light.